Hey y'all, this is Conrad Layn here. Welcome to Layn Turo University. Please don't make these mistakes, but here's a few of the common mistakes I found. There's a lot more that happen, but here, these are some of the few I found. First, read the small print, people. Do your best before you even select your Turo insurance plan. There's a Turo 60, 75, Turo 80, Turo 85, and Turo 90. Read the small print, understand the deductible, understand the coverages. A lot of people make the mistake of not reading their terms and conditions, and that happens quite a bit. So read your terms and conditions. Next mistake not to make sure you pick a Turo plan that works for you. Might sound redundant, might sound obvious, but it's very different. Do your best to actually pick the right plan, and if you pick the right plan, you can actually pretty much make sure you offset your risk, and then that way you know you have the right deductible and the right insurance at hand. Because if you pick the wrong plan or have the wrong deductible, you could be in a really bad situation and have quite the occurrence happen of really destroying your business. So what I highly recommend, and I've recorded many videos about this topic, I implement a dynamic strategy. I've been insurance licensed for over 8 years, so I know a thing or two. I'm not perfect, so you always do your own due diligence. But the approach I like to take, especially for those that are nervous or this is an anxiety-inducing experience for y'all, or especially going into business by yourself, I highly recommend considering, before you pick an insurance plan, not only read small print, but consider the Turo 60 first. Turo 60 starts with a $0 deductible. That's like your training wheels. Turo 60, right? And then so that, for example, if you put your car on the platform and it gets damaged after the first trip, you don't want to have, like, I'm going to Turo 90, so I have a $2,500 deductible. You don't want to pay $2,500 in the first trip. You didn't even make your money. Even if you take it down to Turo 75, which is a $250 deductible, if that's your first trip, you more than likely didn't make that amount yet. And even if you did, you just lost your profit. That's it. That's too big of a hit on your first adding your car to the Turo platform for the first time. I think it's unlikely that'll happen, but it does happen. So I would say to put the training wheels on, put the Turo 60 on, use that policy so that you can actually accrue. Once you earn $250 in the Turo 60 plan, move up to the Turo 75, because now you have the deductible for the Turo 75, and then Turo 75, stay on that plan until you earn $750. $750 is the next deductible for the Turo 80. Then you move to the Turo 80, and then Turo 80, you're at you save up to $1,625, so you can move up to the Turo 85. Once you get to $1,625 saved, don't touch that money, move to the Turo 85. And then once you actually are at Turo 85, your goal is to get to Turo 90 like me, and then at that point you save $2,500. Once you get to $2,500 savings and that you didn't touch, at that point, then now you actually move up to Turo 90 like me. Now for those, just because you go up to Turo 90, maybe that's not for you. That might fit for Conrad Layn, but it might not fit for you. So if you're in a situation where you actually have $2,500, you're like, you know what? Yes, I'm making 90% of my money, because how the plans work is like this. If you pick the Turo 60 as a $0 deductible, you're only making 60% of the trip fee pretty much. So you're basically, and you're sharing 40% with Turo. Then the Turo 75, you earn 75% and then of the trip fee, and Turo 80, you earn 80% of the trip fee, and then you share 20% with Turo. And Turo 85, you earn 85%, Turo takes 15%, and Turo 90, where I'm at, I earn 90% of the trip fee, and Turo takes 10%. I want more to profit, and I did the math for myself. It works out, and I have the deductible saved, and hopefully I don't have to use it ever, but I don't ever touch that money. So that's my recommendation, but that might not work for you. And if you get to Turo 90, or you're like, you know what, I don't like this. I don't mind paying a deductible so that, even though I make less, I don't mind paying more of a deductible. So maybe you want to take it back down to 75. You can do that, but this is just a great way to edge yourself in so that you're offsetting the risk. That's a way to offset the risk. So a lot of people make the mistake by picking the wrong insurance plan, and also picking a deductible that they don't know might work for them, or might be too expensive. And the first claim, they erase all their profit. So even though you might have had a good month, if you're on a Turo 90, you just destroy, you got $2,500, you're probably in negative now. So that's why I'm trying to teach you guys how to actually offset the risk. And at that point, pick whatever plan works for you. For me, the Turo 90 is heaven for me. I love the Turo 90, it's great. And I have the math figured out. And then if you get really advanced, you guys start becoming friends with body shops and having them take away the deductible. Basically, you just turn your Turo 90 plan into a Turo 60 plan. You could definitely do that as long as they agree with it. And worst case scenario, you should already have the money saved anyways, just in case you can't do that or they don't want to allow you to do that. You still have $2,500, you're still making 90% of income. Compounded over time, you should be making more than what the deductible costs. That's the strategy I'll implement, and that's a mistake to avoid. The next mistake to avoid, don't just give up your job or quit your job just because you heard Turo's a great opportunity. I do believe Turo's a great opportunity, but again, I'm more in the approach of taking a safer approach, edging out and acclimating, and then executing. Don't just go out there and executing and you get executed. So that's how I look at it. I'm at the point where I do feel that you all should actually take a more safer approach. Even if you're rich, even if you're wealthy, even if you have money, capital, if you're poor, if you're poverty stricken, if you have the opportunity to join Turo, I would say edge in first and don't just drop your job. Now, if you get fired, hey, I guess it is what it is, but oftentimes you can use your job as income while you're building your business. I did that actually when I built my first business. I actually was working in insurance, and I was doing Postmates and DoorDash. I kept my job, actually added on another job doing Postmates, DoorDash, and Grubhub, and Uber Eats to earn more income so I could invest in my own company. That's where I took. You don't have to do all that, but at least keep your job so you have income coming in so that you actually are good to go. And so that even if your business is doing bad or good, you still have a consistent income from that 9 to 5. I would highly recommend keeping it. And then until you get to do the math, until you get to a certain point where you make a certain amount of money where you can fire yourself, because at the time your time becomes more valuable. Then at the time, fire yourself, but at least now you have a strong business. You don't want to drop your consistent income, even if you hate your job or whatever, or dislike your job. Don't just drop it and jump on Turo just because it's a great opportunity or seems like a great opportunity. You should edge yourself in, offset the risk first. That's my belief, and that's a mistake not to make. Don't just give up your job. Don't just stop your current business you're in. Keep that. If you have a business already, don't just drop that business. If you have a job already, don't just drop that job. Keep it until you start earning enough income to fire yourself. That's what I'll actually say. That's the mistake to avoid. Another mistake to avoid is listening to people more than you listen to yourself. Just because I say Turo's great, I'm a guy on YouTube at the end of the day. You don't know if I'm just trying to slick you. You don't know if I'm just talking a good one. You don't even know if I'm real, really. You know what I mean? I am, and I leave my public profile on the bottom of every video. But always, I encourage researching, doing your due diligence, and being a competent person and researching people that speak. Make sure you know what you're believing. Make sure it's true to you and works for you. And make sure this dude, Conrad Layn, isn't just selling you some hogwash. Make sure I'm telling you the truth. Fact check. Make sure everything I'm saying is true. However, do your due diligence. A lot of people are just too lazy, in my opinion. That's a mistake. Another mistake to avoid is the belief of passive income. Passive income, in my personal opinion, is the wrong wording. I actually consider it past income. Past income means works I've done in the past to earn income in the future because it's past. Passive income implies that you're just making money while you sleep. Yes, there's a sense of you make money while you sleep if you build a business correctly. The problem is it encourages laziness, in my opinion. It encourages you don't get to appreciate the building process. For example, I'm gonna use two examples. If you're, say, a trust fund kid and you have, say, parents or family that helped you out and say they did all the work for you, say you're already wealthy, you didn't have to do the work, you're earning what some people call passive income. That's still not passive income because passive income doesn't really exist. It comes from somewhere. There's a source. It started, even if it's the granddad, grandma, even if it's the parents before you, even if it's someone in your family hundreds of years ago that built that wealth for you. They put the past, they did such a great job that you're earning for their past efforts. So that's past income, not passive income, because you didn't do anything to do it. It's not passive. It's the wrong terminology, because when you say passive, it basically, and I even say passive, but I don't really believe, I'm trying to bring it down for you, not just so that people understand what I'm talking, but I don't believe in passive income. I believe in past income. You put in efforts now and you earn money later on for making good choices in life, financially speaking. That's past income. However, I don't care what the case, even life insurance, if you have a life insurance policy and you get paid out, you're earning past income from all the premiums of people that paid into an insurance policy and you got paid out for it. For example, a lot of money comes from past efforts and past activities. It's not passive where you wake up one day and you just start making money at nighttime or when you're sleeping, when you're waking up. There's some type of effort. Either you have employees that are working for you, that's past efforts. That's either another situation where this is a business that has done well based on past efforts. So even if you're in insurance, you make renewals and commissions, past efforts. Yes, it's passive income, right? Supposedly, but it's past income from past efforts. So understand the mentality that a lot of people make mistakes, want to come in Turo thinking that this is easy. It's not easy. However, there's a lot you have to figure out if you really want to stay strong and succeed, and understand the mentality that it's past income, not passive income, because you're gonna have to make a lot of efforts. But I think it's passive income. It stops you from wanting to work as hard for a lot of people. I'm not saying it's absolute, but a lot of people stop working as hard because they're like, and they get discouraged when they're like, hey, my money's still not passive, I still have to keep working. Yes, that's kind of a part of it. You're gonna have to work, and even if you step away from the business and delegate it to a custodian or someone else, then at that end of the day, however, they're still putting in the efforts for you. You're just not there. So yes, in theory it's passive, but not really. It's still being actively worked. All these businesses are still actively working. They didn't just stop. Even though the owners are earning the passive income, it's from past efforts from their employees and people that they're delegating to. So you're earning past income. To remove the word passive income, I don't like it. I say it just so it gets to understand me, but I actually believe in past income, something I can't with past income, people. Those are a few of the mistakes I would say. Also, buying a car too high, another mistake. Always do your use Google, use search engine, use Blue Book, Kelly Blue Book value. Research multiple cars, compare them, and see if you're getting a good deal or not. Try to keep it. Try to get the best that you possibly can. You have the most leverage when you get the best deal in the beginning. That way, if something happens, you can sell high, or even if you have to sell low, you still have a good deal. So you're not hurt too bad. You probably still profit because you got the car at such a great deal. You bought it in the wedge, what we say in real estate. So I'm also a real estate license. Another thing you can do is make sure that you use Carfax. Make sure you compare cars. Make sure you buy a car. Do research on the vehicle. Also, reverse engineer. Another mistake people do. People just add cars to the platform. Either maybe they just already had a car, or they try to add cars on randomly without doing proper research, not knowing what colors will sell, or what colors make your car sell more. For example, maybe red cars do better, maybe purple cars do better, maybe blue cars do better. You don't know the amount your demographic is charging. Research other hosts like myself or anyone else saying year, make, and model, and see. Let's check out the reviews. Check out how they're doing on Turo. Make sure your vehicle will do well. Do at least research. Nothing's absolute, but increase your likelihood, I would say. That's another mistake. People don't do enough research on the vehicle they're adding to a platform, or the vehicles are adding to a platform. Then they're complaining that they're not making enough money, but they didn't do the research. If they did the research, they saw that this car doesn't do well, or it does do very well, or they're selling too low, or they're selling too high, or they're renting too low, or renting too high. Do your research, people. There's a lot of mistakes I go over. I'm just thinking as I go, but those are a few of the mistakes I would say to really avoid. And yeah, you do that, you should be in a much better place. Nothing's absolute, but I just want to give you guys kind of like a blueprint of certain mistakes I found that people make that I think you should actually avoid, or do your best to overcome. And that's how you do it, people. Buy low, that way you have more power. Do your research. Make sure you know what you're doing. Select the correct insurance policy. If you don't know how to select the correct insurance policy, read the small print, as I mentioned before. Don't make the mistake of just selecting an insurance policy. Make sure you have the deductible that works for you. Try to implement the dynamic approach where you start with maybe a Turo 60, but you move your way up dynamically speaking. That's how you do it, people. That's a few of the mistakes. Like, subscribe, share. Love you guys. Conrad out. Peace.